Rugby, United Kingdom, welcome to the GCN show!
Welcome to the GCN show.
This week we are back in the studio, fresh from our Taiwan KOM Challenge adventures.
Speak for yourself, son. I'm still absolutely pooped.
Okay, so not fresh exactly, but certainly pretty psyched after our 100-kilometre uphill bike race. Now, we found some great lightweight prototype tech out there, which we'll be showing you. Plus, we'll be going over next year's Tour de France route, which actually looks quite easy in comparison to what we've just done.
And our big story this week is the hot topic of bikes and robot cars. Are we safe? And how can they know, in this rather unpredictable world, what we're about to do next? I think... Sorry, I can't work it out. This week in the world of cycling, we learned that cycling and the internet have one very strange thing in common: sex. Yes, according to a new book called The Discovery of France, author Graham Robb attributes the influx of bikes post-World War I to the sexual liberation of the country, just like the internet 80 years later.
I think that's a topic we need to revisit, Matt.
Definitely.
Now, we also learned this week that you want new tech in cycling. That's right, 70% of you voted on last week's show that you would like the UCI to relax the limits and restrictions they place on tech. But interestingly, Matt, 57% of you voted for style over substance by choosing Matt's blue KOM bike over my white one that was clearly substantially better.
No, you mean 80 grams lighter.
Yeah, I mean 80 grams lighter and therefore substantially better.
Oh my word! Yes! Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. White
It's the paint.
smoke.
It's the paint.
Hey, now here's a little interesting weight-based nugget for you.
Okay.
So, one of the most compelling reasons for keeping the UCI's weight limit governing how heavy a bike should be to be used in competition actually is paint.
Paint?
Paint, because paint is heavy, and therefore if all pro cyclists rode the lightest bikes that they could, they would all have to therefore be black, just raw carbon. How boring is that?
True. So basically you couldn't have this one,
No,
that one,
no,
that one,
not that one either.
or even this one.
No. Now, this week we also learned that driverless cars, which are coming inevitably to a street near you, are definitely a work in progress still.
Yeah, a few weeks ago we talked about how cyclists are essentially the Achilles heel of autonomous vehicles. Also said the CEO of Nissan when it became clear at a press event that autonomous vehicles aren't safe to be around bikes.
No, loads and loads of research going on about this at the moment, and clearly an awful lot of difficult conversations because it's a pretty tricky area of ethics, isn't it? But there was a very important announcement last week. Computer giant Intel and Mobileye, who makes sensors for robot cars, are developing a system whereby they can detect who is at fault in a crash with a self-driving car by proposing a mathematical formula to analyse them.
The idea being that all robot cars are programmed exactly the same way, so at the very least they can't be the cause of an accident.
I've got to say, it does make me a little bit uncomfortable, particularly if they don't actually know what we're going to do. But the good news is that they might do soon, because researchers at Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands have actually worked out a way of scientifically monitoring and measuring cyclists' behaviour. So that's hopefully going to therefore help when you're programming what's called human factor research. But weirdly, the way they've done it is by using computer games. Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
in
GTA.
fact. Exactly. So a few tweaks here or there, pair it up with some eye monitoring measuring kit, and boom, there you go, hard data.
But there's clearly quite a lot of work to be done, because BMW recently got into a little bit of trouble when the Honest John car review site showed that the autonomous function passed dangerously close to cyclists to avoid crossing the white lines, and the only way to get around that was if the driver flicked the indicator switch, which I guess is where the semi-lit comes in.
Yeah, semi-autonomous, isn't it? Clearly, maybe need to go back to the drawing board there. But there was also some good news, this time from Audi, because their new A8 has a great little function that could help cyclists. So it's got rear-facing sensors that detect when traffic is approaching, including bikes,
Right.
which is a bonus. And then when it does detect something, it will temporarily lock the car doors on that side to prevent them being opened. So no more car dooring.
Good move, Audi.
Yeah.
Although it does make you think, doesn't it? Driverless cars should theoretically make things safer on the roads because it removes human error.
Yeah.
But one thing is for sure, bikes are never going to be autonomous. So how can humans interact with machines safely?
Can you imagine an autonomous bike? How boring would that
It
be?
would be super dull, wouldn't
It'd
it?
be like turbo training outdoors.
Yeah.
Just if anyone out there is thinking of developing an autonomous bike, we suggest you don't, because
Leave it.
that'd be rubbish.
Just park it.
Yeah. Now, just going back to our original point, I'm going to be brave, Matt.
How brave?
Really brave, actually. I'm going to say that I think that driverless cars are going to make things safer for us in the long run. I think there's probably going to be a few pretty turbulent years with some half-baked tech.
Yep.
Exactly. But in the long run, I do think that actually trusting a cold calculating computer rather than like a hot-headed driver that's distracted by their mobile phone would actually probably be better for cyclist safety.
I'm with you on that one, I think, Si.
Yeah.
I think it is a long game. It's certainly not ready yet, but at some point in the future, I think it could be right.
Yeah.
Although, we need to get to a point where they don't actually take over the world as well. I just wanted to add that point in there. For
I think that is a
clarity,
point that definitely
if
needs to be made.
that's okay.
Yeah, we're not advocating robots taking over the
No.
world. No.
Now, as we're entering this brand new era for robots and cycling and all things that we've
As
just
in
discussed.
right now, we're
yeah,
entering the
right
era.
now. We're
Okay.
kind of entering it, aren't we? We'd like to know what you think.
Yeah.
Are robot cars a good development or are they a bad one? Vote now.
Yeah. And also get involved in the comments. Perhaps we can
Yes.
suggest a name for the new era that Matt's just dawned. Have you dawned it?
Robot Dawn, cycling robot Dawn, Dawn of the robots. Car robot Dawn.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
We're going to start cycling shorts this week with news of the route of the 2018 Tour de France, which was revealed last week.
Although the edge was taken off the announcement for many, including us, with the news that the women's lap course was going to be reduced from 2 days back to 1. Come on, ASO. Sort things out.
Well, time to start lobbying again, as we will see just very shortly. Now, the opening week of the route will spend most of its time heading across northern France. Notable stages include a 35-kilometre team time trial on stage 3, then 2 ascents of the pretty grippy little Mur de Bretagne on stage 6, and then 15 sectors of pavé, totaling 21 kilometres on stage 9.
Boom. Our lobbying obviously worked, didn't it?
Exactly,
Must have watched our show the other week. Now, other notable notes from the announcement of the route is that Alpe d'Huez will be returning.
Oh,
That's
yes.
on stage 12. But get this, on stage 17, there's a only 65 kilometre mountain stage, including 3 categorised climbs, and then finishes up the Col de Portet.
That's going to be insane, isn't it?
That is going to be a tense, nervous thriller, that is for sure.
You know what? I genuinely think this is a pretty inventive, well-balanced route, actually. And you've got to wonder, haven't you, that this is probably designed to make things really difficult for these new 8-man teams to control. And by that, what I mean is ASO is basically trying to make things difficult for Team Sky to control.
I do agree.
Sticking with racing news now, Fabio Aru has just penned a new 3-year deal with Team UAE Emirates. He's leaving Astana, the team he actually turned professional for 6 years ago.
Oh, it's gone quick.
It has gone quick, hasn't it? And do you know what? I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Aru rides with new teammate Dan Martin, because he obviously, of course, is joining UAE Emirates as well.
Well, a formidable climbing duo, if ever there was one. Indeed. Whilst over in the women's pro scene, Marianne Voss's team at WM3 Cycling have got a new sponsor, so they're going to change their name for 2018. Team Wow Deals.
Wow Deals!
Yeah.
Wow!
Wow Deals.
Wow.
Now, you can actually get involved in determining which kit the team use for 2018.
This is cool.
Here they are.
What?
There's kit 1.
Oh, yeah.
Kit 2 and Kit 3. Now, me and Si have been having a cup of tea and actually looking at these kits, and I'm going to vote for Team Kit number 3, the Mondrian inspired one. What do you think, Si? I haven't got all day, mate. Just, Anyway, you can vote on their website.
Probably the same one as you, mate.
Cheers.
Okay, it's time for some ultra endurance now, Matt.
Oh, Si, is this going to make me wince?
Oh, yes. Christophe Strasser, who is a Race Across America legend, has just broken the 24-hour cycling record indoors on a track. That's going to make you wince, isn't it?
Oof, definitely.
He rode 941 kilometres.
941 kilometres.
941 kilometres, an average speed of just under 40 kilometres an hour. However, when you break it down, it actually sounds a little bit more manageable because that's only 3,767 laps.
Oh, when
on
you
the
put it
velodrome.
like that, it's not quite
Yeah,
as
and he
impressive.
only averaged 212 watts
Yeah.
for the 24 hours. And actually, he didn't even ride for the whole 24 hours.
Really?
No, he did 20 hours, and then he had 3 minutes off his bike.
We wouldn't have done that, would we? No. Check this though. It looks like his helper who held up the bottles had to work pretty hard as well. Tech of the week now, and it's KASK's new Mistral helmet.
That's right.
So exciting.
Now, KASK have been a long-time partner of ours here at GCN, so it sent us this to coincide with its launch. To be fair, it's been a long time coming. We first saw Mistrals on the heads of the Australian track team at the Rio Olympics. It was developed in collaboration with the Australian Institute of Sport. Now, clearly, it is a track/time trial/triathlon, if that's your bag, helmet. But we were thinking you could actually use this to shave a few seconds off cycling to the shops.
You'd definitely go quicker, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you so wished. Now, it's got a much more pronounced tail on it than KASK's other time trial helmet, their Bambino. Depending on which position you adopt on the bike, on your time trial bike, then different helmets will actually be more or less aerodynamic.
Yeah, it's got 6 vents at the front, if you could just show that to the camera side. So you can actually use this helmet in some longer distance events if you so wish. If you'd just like to turn around to the rear, we've got 2 exhaust ports just at the back. Now, so if you'd be kind enough to just take the helmet off, we'll have a look inside. It's reassuringly familiar inner to the helmet, including the 3D dry padding system and KASK's retention system as well.
And don't forget the optional visor. Oh yes,
indeed. Now, when we were at the KOM Challenge over in Taiwan, we did
Have
spot.
we said we were at the KOM Challenge yet?
Not enough,
No, not much.
but we did actually spot some pretty cool lightweight bits of tech, didn't we?
We did indeed.
Now, the first bit we didn't have to look very hard for because
No.
THM supplied us with some lovely bits of kit to make our bikes as light as possible. And one of them was these handlebars. Now, we don't know too much more about them at the moment, but get this, we used prototype kit on our bikes.
Yeah, we did.
Cool,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. So coming soon, handlebars, the first handlebars from THM.
Yes.
Now, moving on, we also spotted these new shoes from Lake.
And then we could tell they were new shoes because they had prototype written over them, didn't we?
Exactly. So
Yeah,
again,
could spot
not
quite
terribly
easily.
hard to spot.
No.
Apparently, they are just revisions of the current shoe, which is their current lightweight shoe, shall I say, the CX301. So tweaks rather than completely new. But that one weighs supposedly 180 grams per shoe.
Wow, that's heading towards Adam Hansen's shoe sort of territory, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty lightweight, isn't it? And then we also spotted a new hub-based power meter on Emma Pooley's Bond road bike. Very much at the prototype stage, but what we have been told is that even at this point in its development, it weighs just 300 grams.
It's light. That
Yeah,
is light.
put it in context, a Chris King hub, a lovely Chris King hub, weighs about 220 grams, so 80 grams heavier for a power meter. So that is pretty good going, isn't it? And whilst we're there, actually, looking at it, we should probably say that that's laced to a new wheel as well.
Not new, more new tech.
Yeah, so Sense wheels are going to be coming to the market soon, and they have been developed with input from Emma Pooley herself. Dr. Pooley, we should say.
The final World Tour race of the year started last week, the inaugural Tour of Guangxi in China, and it was the Colombian rocket that is Fernando Gaviria of Quick-Step Floors who mopped up the first 3 stages, taking his season's tally to quite incredible 13 stages.
13.
But look, just check this out. His skills clearly extend just beyond sprinting.
That is impressive, isn't it?
It is.
Shame our talents didn't extend to sprinting, but you know.
I can't even juggle either.
I can juggle. Yeah. Anyway, Tim Wellens took a pretty tough uphill finish on stage 4 to also take the leader's jersey. Dylan Groenewegen won a sprint on stage 5, and as we film this, Wellens has a 6-second advantage over Bauke Mollema going into the last stage. Hopefully that is not a kiss of death, Tim.
Yeah. Cyclocross now, and
Yes.
the prodigy that is Mathieu van der Poel made it 3 wins out of 3 in the Cyclocross World Cup over the weekend on the iconic Cogside course, famous for its sand sections. Now, second place was Lars van der Haar, 40 seconds adrift, whilst in third place...
Drift, see what we did there.
Thanks very much indeed. Whilst in third place was world champion Wout van Aert, although he did have to change bikes whilst in second spot.
Yeah, consolation prize. He had actually taken victory at the Super Prestige the day before in Boom, which is cool.
Cracking name,
Yeah,
Boom.
isn't it?
But the big question is, does Mathieu van der Poel have a tattoo? He mysteriously, Simon, tweeted this after the race.
Sorry, Matt. He mysteriously tweeted, categorically, this is not a tattoo.
Well, it's kind of got an air of mystery to it, because it's not really, there's no question mark, it's like a statement, isn't it?
A statement that this is not a tattoo. No, I think what it is some spangly kind of supportive tape. Because he did, of course, have a very nasty little crash in that Super Prestige the day before, and boom. We've got a video, actually. Thank you to Pascal Morin of Cyclocross 3Ss for letting me use it. Oh, every time I see that, it makes me wince. That is brutal, isn't it? Right, in the women's event, it was a very much in-form Maud Captains. Please, any of our Dutch or Belgian viewers, if you could help us out in the comment section by advising how to pronounce her
We're
name.
going to be saying her name and not in the future, aren't we?
Absolutely. Anyway, she put in a fantastic ride. She soloed from the first lap to the last lap with a margin of victory of 52 seconds over Sophie de Boer in second and Sanna Kant in third. Unfortunately, clearly on this occasion, she just wasn't able to.
She just couldn't.
She just can't, no. Not that day, anyway.
And then there's the KOM Challenge in Taiwan.
Have we mentioned that we were there yet?
Only a couple of times. Yeah. But did you know, well, you did know, I'm just going to mention it to the viewers as well. I actually beat Nibley.
Did you, mate?
Yeah. I attacked him with about a kilometre and a half to go. Caught him, went straight by me, caught me in the descent. I just hit him again, left him for dead.
They're not stupid. They know that Nibali won. So clearly you didn't.
No, I didn't say Vincenzo. It was Antonio Nibali. Antonio.
Okay, yeah. Antonio.
He didn't stand
Nibali.
a chance against the ferocity of my attacks.
No, clearly he didn't.
He didn't. Actually, no, he'd been working quite hard for his brother, who went on to win the race in fine style. In fact, in a record time of 3 hours, 3 hours and 19 minutes, taking 2 minutes off the previous record, and at the same time earning himself this week's Pro Wattage Bazooka. Well done, Vincenzo Nibali. Now, in the women's race, it was Emma Pooley who took back-to-back victories. And I caught up with her after the finish, after having a bit of a lie down.
Hang on a minute, again, this is another Nibali thing. You didn't catch up with her at the finish. She finished, and then you finished sometime after, and then you got to talk to her.
No, then
you didn't catch up with her.
She finished, I finished, I then had a lie down and then interviewed her.
Okay,
That's
right,
what
there we
happened.
go.
Here, let us speak.
You have to come here expecting 4 to 5 hours at your limit, basically. It's totally different to a 100k road race. And then, that's for not being disappointed by how hard it is. And I think, obviously, it suits me as a climber, but I like it because it's a beautiful race as well. It is a stunning scenery. And this year, compared to last year, I didn't have any mechanical disasters and I was on my own bike. And so I had time to appreciate the scenery because I wasn't worried about messing up, and I think that really helps actually for me anyway. If I can see a beautiful view, it helps me to cope with the suffering.
Now, jokes aside, there will be a full video of our KOM challenge experiences up on the channel, but you may have already seen on Facebook we had a new director sportif for the event, didn't we? Yeah, Phil Gaiman, ex-pro, was kindly helping us out. Despite having already tweeted this, clearly there was an element of competition from his side, but nevertheless, when the time came, he did follow through with some great advice, didn't he?
He was quite a tough DS, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
What are we doing here? What are you here for?
I'm gonna ride KOM as fast as I can.
You're gonna ride, okay, as fast.
I'm gonna race it.
Try again.
I'm gonna race the KOM.
Try one more time.
I'm gonna race.
No. Maybe you can help him out. You're here to win.
That's what
You're here to win.
Phil, that's what I was coming to say.
Okay? We flew all the way here. Did you come to a race to get second? No. One mission. Hang on. So what's that?
That's a couple of beers.
Is that wind juice?
Well, you've got one.
I'm retired. I'm allowed.
Okay.
Oh, so no beer.
No, there's no beer.
Sorry, mate.
All right.
Before we forget Wattage Bazooka, we need our viewer Wattage Bazooka results. If you just like to do the honours, please. So I think that goes to David Hayward, who tweeted this. He basically was riding some alpine climbs, the broken gear cable all the way down the cassette, average cadence 28 RPM. But he got a new record. That's impressive,
Fair play.
isn't it?
Not just wattage, but force bazooka.
Yeah, low cadence Wattage Bazooka.
Absolutely.
Just hope your knees are okay. That's all.
Obviously, to calculate wattage, it's force times cadence, isn't it? So,
All right, sorry, showing off again.
right, you know. Sorry, mate. It's all right.
It's time now for hack /bodge of the week. Now, first up is this from Bicycle Guy. It's an engineering flowchart. Look at the detail. I mean, basically, like, does it move? No. Yes. Should it? It's just great. Basically, it ends up with using WD-40 or tape, so you basically know where to go.
Now, I have seen this before, and I've got issues with it, Matt. I'm not going to lie. As much as I love WD-40, as much as I love gaffer tape, clearly it's missing the third alternative, which is cable ties, zip ties. And funny enough, actually, these are Matt's 15-year-old cable ties that live in his suitcase.
They do.
And I had to borrow them the other day, just in case. So there they are back.
Thanks very much.
They go back for another 15 years.
You can just see, actually, they were white. They're now yellowing with age. They're so old.
Yeah, right, come on, let's move on.
Next up, we have this.
This I love. Okay, this was sent in by Red Walters, the Redster 360. He has ripped a jersey in a crash and so sewn himself a pretty badass pair of overshoes.
They're
very cool.
Almost buy those. Almost. They're cracking them, aren't they?
Yeah, I dig them.
Good.
Yeah, that's a great hack, actually.
Certainly is. Well, next up, thirdly, is this from Gaspar Mate
Whoa.
on Facebook. A bike with not one, no, 2 rear mechs.
That's going to have a pretty low gear, isn't it? Great front derailleur placement as well. Look at that.
I really don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, you could ride up anything with that, couldn't you? Genius.
I wonder what it'd equate to as a gear in inches or centimetres for each revolution. It'd be flipping low, wouldn't it?
Yeah, come back to us next week.
We could use that in the Taiwan KOM challenge.
We could have done. We'd still be there.
We would.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that. I can't call it a bodge because clearly someone's put some thought and effort into that. So that's a hack, isn't it? Much like this next one, a sort of saddle spotted by Terry Dawson, Her Majesty's Naval Base in Devonport.
It's definitely a sort of saddle, isn't it?
Yeah, but, having said that, I've never sat on anything like that, so maybe it is comfy.
I like the way it's just been slotted into the down tube with no way of retaining it apart from the weight of the rider sat upon it.
I bet, therefore, it swings when you go around corners. Like, it's kind of like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
That is really something to behold. Just make sure you do keep the hacks and bodges coming because we do love them. We have a lot of fun reading these. You know what to do.
GCN hack on Instagram or Twitter. And please keep them coming. It's time now for Caption of the Week. First up, as always, we've got the results of last week's Caption competition where one lucky winner is going to get their hands on a GCN Camelback water bottle as modelled by Matt. Or possibly one that hasn't been fondled.
Yeah,
I guess.
You get it clean.
Right, and the winner, having captioned this photo from last week's cyclocross race at Zondervan, is Sean O'Sullivan. He suggested the hardest descent in the calendar, Sands Down.
Well done, Sean. This bottle, or another one that I haven't got my clammy hands on, will be winging its way to you. Now, this week's caption.
Whoa, look at those guys.
Is this. It's Matteo Palucchi and his Bora Hansgrohe teammates at the Tour of Guangxi. Now, I'm going to kindly start things off.
Go on, mate. I'm ready for this one.
And this is Palucci speaking, the man in the centre with his arms folded. I wish I had hair like the flying mullet. Who's the chap at the back with the mullet? Wish I had hair like the flying mullet.
Okay. Right, well, let's... Obviously, if you think you can do better, I suggest you probably can. Then put your caption entry in the comment section down below. We will go through them all, enjoying it very much, and pick out the best one. Not Matt's, of course. And then the winner will get a Camelback water bottle. I'm sorry, mate, but that was...
Ages.
Admittedly, we are still tired from the Taiwan KOM challenge. Have we mentioned that?
As you know, we do love reading all the comments underneath our videos. And this particular comment underneath last week's weekly show stood out. You need to sort of pay attention here, Si. It's from Bikes and Dog Trips. And it goes as follows. Si, it's extremely bad manners to have your chopstick sticking out of your food like that. It is akin to burning incense for your dead ancestors. So be told. I'm
really sorry about that. I genuinely had no idea. And he wasn't the only person to actually mention in the comment section down below. So yeah, that is a big faux pas, clearly. So apologies to anyone who was offended by my chopstick placement.
Lesson learned this side.
Hopefully they weren't offended by me trying to use chopsticks as well, because that was just generally messy and frankly awful.
Well, on the channel this week on Wednesday, it's how to track stand. It's
Nice.
Lloydie's showing you how to track stand.
Now the gradient is important because it's going to give you some resistance. So when you push on the pedals, you will move up, and when you let go, you'll go gradually back down. So you can get that rocking motion, which gives you your balance.
On Thursday, it's 5 of the world's toughest riders ever. Not all of them, but just 5 of them. And on Friday, it's Ask GCN Anything.
Oh, then on Saturday we've got Emma Pooley's KOM challenge winning Bond road bike, complete with prototype power meter. Sunday's video is, now this is going to be great, man. We've finally being able to put to rest the age-old question about which handlebars are stronger, aluminium ones or carbon fibre ones. Then Monday we are back in the maintenance set, and then Tuesday's GCN show is 251.
Hold on a minute, Si. 251.
251.
That means this week's show is... It's show 250.
250?
Just hold on a second. I always carry cake and party goods around with me, just in case. 250 shows, Si. Woohoo!
Why didn't they make a
It
noise?
was quite cheap. Happy birthday to
to
GCN
us.
250.
Woo!
Happy birthday to us.
Hold on a
Tic
sec.
Tac cake.
Well, we're going to have to share this one now. You want a bit?
I'm alright, thanks.
Welcome to the GCN show.
From?
We're nearing the end of the show, which is just as well because we've got brownies to eat. But we have time, nevertheless, for Extreme Corner. And this week, excuse me, it is Win Masters of Wheelie Wednesday fame. But he's not wheeling this time, well, not all the time anyway. He's doing a cyclocross race in Berlin. And not only that, he goes and wins it.
Whoa.
Win wins. Whoa! Check it out, yeah, classy. Although, it's got me wondering, man. When I ride my mountain bike, wearing my roadie lycra, do I look like as much of a wally as Win Masters does, racing cyclocross in baggy shorts?
Yes, I think you do.
Really? As quick as that? You're going to come back?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
Right. Well, anyway, thinking of roadie lycra, I've got a quick announcement from our shop. We've got some great stuff in there, as always, at the moment. And our winter kit, our winter fan kit, is on pre-order, but only until the 30th of October. After that, the mega little discounts finish, and it stops being on pre-order, it just becomes available. And it's going to be shipped.
Indeed, so yeah, get in early.
Absolutely.
Now, if you weirdly haven't already subscribed to the Global Cycling Network, click on the globe to subscribe for free, and that way you will not miss another video. Now, talking of other videos, as we head towards the winter, morale drops a bit. How about clicking just down here for our top 10 motivational cycling quotes?
That's right. Or to see, because I don't know if we mentioned, our Taiwan KOM challenge bikes that we had built up with thanks to THM and Lightweight and so forth. To see a profile of those. Nice medal,
And here's
man.
our medal.
Click just down there. I couldn't bring mine in today, it was too heavy.
We
to
completed
commute
it.
with.
Quite meaty. We completed it.